Just like I would not expect Mahomes to miss a practice for this. I wouldn't expect Brady to miss a practice, even if they were in a contract negotiation. I don't expect this to impact Burrow at all.
Tom Brady left the Patriots. He just went away.
After 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, he left the team.
6 Super Bowls.
He left the team because he wanted more money than last year. I think the risk to health is too significant because they were going to. You said yourself that they were going to do this deal before the season starts, right?
I thought they were, yeah.
So what if they?
And what happened? Burrow showed up.
What if it's not done before week 1? So you're telling me he's going to get out on the field and risk? You said, unless there's a back injury or some sort of head injury. I mean, who knows? We're talking a $300 million deal. Can't risk that at all. What if it goes down 15%? That's $25 million.
They're not. I do not think the Bengals are trying to play significant hardball here with Joe Burrow. I don't know why he doesn't have a contract. I always thought he was waiting out Herbert because he knew whatever Herbert signed for, he's going to get more. So those two guys are like neck and neck, right? One was the first pick overall. What was Herbert, the 6th pick overall? They're going to be right there. So I thought he was just waiting out Herbert. And the fact that Burrow showed up to camp in the first place without a contract extension shows you exactly where his mind is here. He knows he's going to get the money, and I think it's all about being out there on the field.
So you expect him out there with a strained calf, like coming off a strained calf before the season starts? Do you think he's going to practice and play?
Whenever he's cleared.
So you think he'll play week 1 if he's cleared? If
he's cleared and yet he still does not have a new contract, I think he will go out and play. He knows the margin for error in the AFC is so razor thin, you can't afford to mess around. Plus, the Bengals do start to their first 2 games, week 1 and week 2, against divisional rivals. Like, it catches up on you quick, especially in the AFC North.
Look what happened when KD had a calf injury. He went out there, came back too soon. He missed basically, how many years did he miss?
Like 2? Like a year and a half, something like that?
Yeah, it was definitely 1 full year. It was actually, a year and a half. And honestly, it took him even longer than that to get back to being KD. If you're about to get $300 million, you better be at least close to 100%. And you know the Bengals. You think if he went out there and blew out that calf, like really blew it out, which is possible because obviously he's been dealing with a strain. He was dealing with it before the injury happened yesterday. He really blew it out. Do you think the Bengals are going to be like, you know what? You're sidelined for the year, but we're still going to give you $300 million. Because that's just not the way the Bengals operate.
Well, maybe not, but this is very different for them. And I know they played hardball with Carson Palmer, and it didn't end up working out for them, and that's a cautionary tale. And I don't know how they were with Andy. I mean, you're better friends with Andy Dalton. I've never even met Andy Dalton.
Andy printed money this entire time in Cincinnati.
Right. So I think if Andy Dalton is printing money in Cincinnati, Joe Burrow is going to open up a mint in Cincinnati. But
when Andy got hurt, basically they never opened that checkbook up again. Remember, he broke his thumb in 2010 or something, and that was his last big contract.
I just don't see...
sorry, 2015.
I don't see Burrow holding this over the organization. To be fair, it's not just quarterbacks who do this. I'm talking about Brady. I'm talking about Mahomes. Saquon Barkley just did this. I think he's like, listen, I realize that I just want to be out there with my team. I think that Burrow, because he's a guy who is going to, his legacy will be determined on championships, and hopefully that's plural for Bengals fans, that he's going to do whatever he can because he's one of those guys in the league that everyone's looking at saying, you're in your prime, you're in your window. You got to start, if you're as good as we think you're going to be, which is really freaking good, then you can't afford to waste time over a contract extension. If you're healthy and you're clear to play, you got to be out of the field.
Saquon Barkley's making $11 million this year, if all goes well.
Right.
Joe Burrow's about to get, $400 million and then $250 guaranteed. There's no analogy there. I understand Saquon's going out there. And what do you mean his window is closing? How old do you think Joe Burrow is?
No, I'm saying his window's open now.
It's been open since he got in the league. He's 26.
But it's him with Jamar Chase. They've got everything around them now, and you don't want to squander any of it. That's what I'm saying. And he knows that.
I think they have 14 years left on this window.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
I think Joe is going to be very patient here. I don't think he's going to come out onto the field with it. I think, first of all...
So you think he'd be healthy and sit out week 1?
Yes.
Oof.
Because, it's July, what's the date? The 28th.
Yeah.
His calf injury happened on the 27th. That's pretty close to the season. That's how many weeks? 5 weeks?
Yeah, September 10th is the opening.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get out there. First of all, I also don't think it's completely safe. I don't think he's going to be 100% healthy, and he's not going to get out there less than 100%.
That's a different argument, though.
Well,
that's a different argument.
But he's going to have to. He's got this calf injury. He's going to have to play less than 100% this season. I think there's no way he gets back from a calf strain in 5 weeks at 100%.
Well,
you ever had a calf strain?
I have not.
I haven't either.
I know people who have.
Sounds tough, but
sounds painful.
I'm sorry. I'm bringing the Bengals Super Bowl odds down because of what I saw yesterday. Because I think this is going to be nagging him all year long. And you know what? They're in such a tough division. I think the Ravens are nipping at their heels already. So just give them a little bit. Maybe I'm being way too negative about the Bengals. Just a little bit of an impediment here says to me, I think the Ravens might catch them.
Okay, but here's the thing. Bengals have done a very admirable job shoring up the offensive line over the last couple years, including big signing this offseason with Orlando Brown, right? So they've done that. And I would probably take like a 70% Joe Burrow over like a fully healthy Kenny Pickett or something like that. You know, like
how about a fully healthy Deshaun Watson and a fully healthy Lamar Jackson? And by the way, Kenny Pickett could ball out this year.
It's possible. You know, I'm a big Pickett fan. But I think like Burrow, even not at 100%, is still much better than a lot of quarterbacks. Listen, we had the discussion last year, and I think it's still valid to have it. Is Burrow the second best quarterback in the league?
Oh, yeah, he definitely is.
Okay, so I'd rather have a slightly hobbled or whatever, a not 100% Burrow.
But Lamar's like the sixth best, and Deshaun Watson's like the seventh best. So there's a really, really thin margin for error. And also last year, we had this game on TV the other day. The Ravens with Huntley gave the Bengals all they could handle in the playoffs in the end of the season.
Yeah, but that's because the Bengals, they knew they just had to do the absolute bare minimum to win that game.
I don't know if I totally see that. I mean, it was a playoff game.
Oh, wait, the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it was 24-17. And remember, they had that interception return that was a fluke play, a 99-yard interception return. That was against Tyler Huntley. I think the Ravens kind of outplayed them in that game. So I think they're really close. And then the other thing, too, is the entire AFC is a disaster. It's a disaster of a mess for your Bills, for your Bengals. It's so competitive. There's so many Super Bowl-level teams. I agree that there's not much margin for error, but I think you're already seeing there's a problem here with this calf. I do not expect that he's going to be 100% all season long.
Let's go to the phones. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. You're welcome to weigh in. Tell us what you think about Joe Burrow and about the Cincinnati Bengals and sort of what their future looks like now with Burrow with that injury. And also, if he's fully healthy, honestly, fully healthy, cleared, okay? You think Joe Burrow's not going to take the field because his contract isn't done? Everything Joe Burrow has shown us to this point would be the exact opposite. He's team first. He wants to win. He's judging himself, I think, by the greatest to ever play. He's going to take the field. That's
what's this example you have of him being team first?
Seems like a team guy.
His haircut to me says he's about Joe Burrow. No, he's a super nice guy. No. But I don't know. Everybody's a team guy until they have. We're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars. Just the size of this contract is so daunting that I think he's going to be nervous. And also, imagine if he doesn't get paid. You don't think he's going to have this calf injury in his mind? He's going to be playing careful. Which I hope he signs it before. So. I really hope he signs it this August. So he doesn't even have to think about this.
I mean, listen, I know he hasn't made this much money, but he's already made a ton by being the number one overall pick. So it's not like, it's either this contract or it's back to, like eating bologna every night.
Justin Herbert just signed for somewhere between 180 and 218 million guaranteed. That's so much money, Maggie.
I know. But Burrow's going to get that much whether, this calf injury is nagging or not. He's the franchise.
Yeah, hopefully he gets it soon, though. So I hope this is not an issue. I hope we do not go into week one wondering, is Joe Burrow going to play?
So the quicker he gets the contract signed, the quicker we resolve our debate. Manny, I don't even know if you've heard this debate yet. Manny's in today for Stu. Here's what's going on with me and Perloff with regards to Joe Burrow's contract. I think that Joe Burrow is going to sign a bigger deal than Justin Herbert, right? By average annual value, the $52.2 million a year, Burrow's going to top it because everyone keeps topping each other. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, now Justin Herbert, and the next one will be Burrow. So I think it's going to be more. I don't know about how much, but it's going to be more.
You just robbed me of $300,000, by the way. It's 52.5.
52.5, sorry.
Watch Burrow come in at 52.4.
Oh, God. So if he signs for more than Herbert and I win the bet, that means Perloff has to eat a bowl of Skyline chili with no hands. And if I lose the bet, then I've got to eat the Skyline chili with no hands.
Well, again, like with Perloff when he did the spicy wing challenge, I thought it was a delicious challenge that he had to awfully endure. I was thinking the same thing just now with the chili. I mean, another delicious treat. What an awful
twist.
Punishment.
Yeah.
Oh, but with no hands. Now you piqued my interest.
Yeah.
I secretly kind of want to lose this bet because I've never had Skyline chili. So the person who doesn't have to eat without hands at least gets to try some Skyline chili.
Yeah, but have you ever done like a pie eating contest or anything? It's not that fun.
I did once. It was very fun.
Oh, okay.
And I was also victorious.
Wait, so you had so the pie eating contest, like Stand By Me, you have your hands tied by?
Yeah. That's what this is going to be.
Yeah, no,
like
I
hands
understand.
behind the back.
I understand. I actually just want to try Skyline chili. I don't care if I'm
get in the car and go to Cincinnati.
I did look. You can buy all sorts of frozen Skyline chili, so we're going to be able to do it here in the studio.
Yep.
It's going to be ugly, but that's the other reason. He has to sign before week 1 so we know who wins this bet. It goes into the season. We're going to forget about it.
I kind of like that we don't know when it's coming down because it's like just sort of like this anvil that's kind of hanging over both of our heads and we have no idea when it's going to drop.